Good morning. Okay, let's dive in. Let's close our eyes. We're going to be breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. Finding this rhythmic breathing. This slow in, slow out. Remember, audible exhale. Audible expelling all that no longer serves you. So inhale nice and slow. Out. With each inhale, pulling up. No, excuse me. Pulling down as if we are opening up to source light energy, to Father Son, to like all above. We are pulling down from above, like through our crown, almost like picture like a funnel, turning like it turning into like or an hourglass, where it's all we're pulling down with our inhale, like breathing it in, and then with our exhale, pushing it out and down, like the bottom of an hourglass, to Mother Earth and grounding. So we're opening up with our inhale and we are grounding with our exhale. Opening up with our inhale, grounding with our exhale. Opening up with our inhale, grounding with our exhale. So find that rhythm, and just again, like, so with the opening up, like with each inhale, just picture in your mind's eye, like Father, Son, source light energy, angels, guides, ancestors of love and light, all that is just opening, 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 and being open, and bringing clarity and insight and purpose and inspiration, motivation, all the things, just allowing that to pour into it, our being, allowing that beautiful essence, oyana kiano suyano tuyano oyana, to pour into us. So breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Each exhale, your roots are grounding down into Mother Earth, spreading out far and wide, that the bottom of your hourglass is just like spreading out, allowing her to come into your being, you going into hers. Oyana siano tuyano koyana oyana, the two become one. Oyana siano tuyano oyana kiano oyana ana siano oyana, her ancient wisdom coming up through your roots. Iana siano tuyano oyana kiano suyano oyana. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And this cycling in and out and in and out and all the way through and around and through, and oyana siano tuyana oyana, cleansing any stuck energy, stagnant energy, allowing all energy to flow, 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 flow. Oyana siano tuyana oyana, just as it was meant to. Oyana kiano suyano tuyano oyana kiano suyano tuyano oyana. Suyano tuyano koyana ana. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you need a wiggle, shake it out. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Brush it, anything excess off. Oyana siano tuyano oyana ana siano oyana. All energy that does not belong to me, I give it to Mama Earth. I give it to thee. Oyana siano tuyano oyana siano tuyano oyana ana kiana oyana. All energy that does not belong to me, I give it to Mama Earth. I give it to thee. Iana siano tuyana ana. Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Oyana kiano oyana siano tuyano oyana. Ana siano tuyano. Oyana siano tuyano oyana kiano suyano tuyano oyana. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. Oyana siano tuyano oyana. So we had 3 decks this morning. We have our regular tarot. Iana siano tuyano oyana kiano suyano oyana. And we also have Iana kiano oyana siano oyana. I keep just calling it the Witch's Oracle, but I don't really remember the specific name of it. But I really love it. And then I'll show it to you. And then also the Star Tarot. All right, here we go. We have 3 of Cups. I feel like, okay, one more from here, I think. Iana soyano tuyano oyana kiano oyana. Death card. Okay. That's it on that. Those 2, all the cards just feel like today. Iana suyano tuyano oyana kiano oyana. Isis, cast spells, protect and heal. Oyana siano tuyano oyana kiano suyano tuyano oyana. Iana kiano suyano tuyano oyana. Okay. Queen of Wands. Oh, how perfect is that? See the lion with Leo season. Iana kiana suyano tuyano oyana. All that fire. Ah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ayana siano tuyano oyana. Oyana siano tuyano oyana. Okay. Let's see where this is taking us. One more from there. I'm like on the fence on whether we need one more from we're supposed to get one more from the star. Are we supposed to get one more from here? So this is it. Are they all correct? Okay. They're all correct? Okay. All right. And then let's see. But I feel like it's supposed to be like that. No. That. No. I'm trying to figure out I guess it's supposed to be like that. Okay. Is that let me ask. Is that the right order? Okay. So they have the Death card first, 3 of Cups, Queen of Wands, and then Isis. Iana suyano tuyano kuyana kana siano tuyano oyana kiano oyana. Okay. Oyana siano tuyano oyana. Iano tuyano oyana. Oyana siano tuyano oyana. Okay, Isis. Come and help a girl out. Iana tuyano oyana kiano suyano tuyano oyana kiano suyano tuyano oyana. Iano suyano tuyano oyana kiano suyano tuyano oyana. Iana kiano suyano tuyano oyana kiano suyano tuyano oyana. It's very interesting. They're like putting this image in my head about we're gathering here today and handing each one of us a cup to drink out of, almost like we're taking the communion wine. Iana siano tuyano oyana. Iano tuyano oyana kiano suyano tuyano oyana. Iano tuyano oyana. Sorry, I'm having a conversation in my head because that always creeped me out, having to share the cup and with the liquid at the same at the bottom, that where everybody's It's like, can we have our own cup? And they're like, you can have your own, everybody can have their own cup. I'm like, thank you. Okay, so carrying on. Sorry, squirrel moment, private, and I was having this conversation in there. Okay, iana siano tuiano oyana kiano suiano tuiano oyana. So, but it does feel like they're kind of starting with this cup, this card, and it looks like the fall harvest, iana siano tuiano. Oh. So they're kind of starting with this, but they're leading back to this. So they're saying this fall harvest begins with the death of the old self. All the things that we're still holding on to from our past selves. So they keep going back to this because, and I know partially it's my fault because they're talking to me on this one a bit too. Because iana siano tuiano oyana kiano sawiano tuiano oyana kiano sawiano tuiano oyana. We're still trying to figure out this new way of living, this new life, this new being, and what that looks like in our day-to-day lives, how that translate into our day-to-day lives. How do we mold all of this beautiful magical world into our day-to-day lives and live this in our day-to-day lives, not just show up for this these however many minutes and then be like, okay, logging out, back to regular programming, like we're like this special announcement, and then that's the end of your magic for the day. They're like, no, 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 no. We need to figure out we're changing our lives here. We're changing our lives. Iana kiono suiono tuiono oyana kiono oyana suiono tuiono oyana. We are becoming these new beings. We want these new lives, and to be able to get these new lives, we need to have the death, complete laying to bed of the old self. Also, please, Metatron, protect our video and everything, and don't let it die. I've had these issues where once I say different things, like then all of a sudden the video will go, that message isn't getting out. So we're asking for protection. Michael, please protect this safe space. Okay, back to this. Okay, so they're saying death of the old, and thinking about like how we're still living in a lot of the same patterns and routines as our old self and our old lives, but we're wanting these new lives, but we're still hanging on so much to the old ways and not wanting to give up some of these old ways. And so, but they're saying to make space for the new, we have to be willing to let go of the old. Iana kiono suiono tuiono oyana. You must be willing to let go of the old to make space for the new, trusting that the new that is coming in will be elevating and expanding and enlightening and awakening and all the things, and be the things that you have been looking for, going into these, letting go with trust that what will take its space will be better. And more aligned with the life that you're trying to build and the person you're trying to become, that you are becoming, not trying, you are becoming. You're becoming these beautiful new beings. So we need to make space for that in our lives, instead of still living our 50% or more in our these past mundane lives, and only allowing 10% of this beautiful new magical life, or however much into our lives. We need to give more than like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% to this magical life. And what does that look like? How do I become this person and let go of feeling like I still have to live with one foot in my past life and one foot in this new life that I'm trying to build? How does that translate into a regular work week that you have to still show up to work? How does that translate? And just looking and asking these questions to your guides, because it's going to look different for everybody. Asking, what does that look like? What does that look like in motherhood? What does this look like in motherhood? Is it teaching my children how to grow food and herbs? And is it teaching them how to maybe come up with their own little rituals, or whatever it is, whatever is age appropriate and fitting for them and you, and that we not forcing anything on them, but just really feeling into and listening to questions being asked by them, maybe, and then answer, fitting in age appropriately, and what they are ready for. And if they see you doing this or that, and they ask you questions about it, and that may be your opening, would you like to do something like this? Or maybe it's all it is for them is teaching them how to make their own like essential oil or roll on, or and blessing that, or like having their own special crystal or whatever that is for them. It'll look different for everybody. It could also be allowing them to have their own little treasure pile in their room of things that they collect, that they find, that they feel were left just for them. It's a way to allow them to start noticing things and cherishing them, from gifts from Mother Earth and from their guides and angels. Like special rocks and or feathers and different things like that. Even like a fun little stick or whatever. Not being like, no, that stays outside. Give them a little tray or box that they can put their treasures in, and maybe that's their way of starting this connecting with this new life that we're trying to build. So again, it's going to look different for everyone. Maybe trying to remember more about like putting intentions into your drinks. Like I've totally forgot to do that with mine. So like taking time, like not rushing and being like, gotta hurry up and make my coffee. If you need to wake up earlier to be able to intentionally make your coffee, and intentionally like adding in the honey or maple syrup or whatever that is for you. And as you do so, add in be putting in that tension of, may there be sweetness throughout my day, or something like that. It doesn't come up with your own rituals, and imagine like ways of weaving the magic in throughout your day. So death of the old, and like the death of the old means mundane thinking of rushing to do the 9 to 5 grind, coming home, throwing dinner on the table, getting everybody ready for bed, watching TV for a few hours, and then passing out. And that's it. Every single day, over and over and over again, it's like these routines of this mindless thinking and being, and we're trying to lay that to bed. How can we change that? How can we still incorporate having to make money, put food on the table, having to, if you have kids, if you don't have kids, I don't have small kids anymore, but this is, I feel like somebody does that's listening, and that's why we keep bringing that up. But so having kids to take care of, and don't mean to say that in a kind of way, but and fitting all of that in, and taking care of the things that we need to take care of, but still weaving them into this new magical world that we're trying to build, so that way we're teaching our next generations, and maybe those around us that are paying attention a little bit, that they can make their lives a little bit more magical. They can slow down and not rush if they don't feel like they need to watch. Maybe they only, instead of watching 3 hours of Netflix, they only watch 1 or 2 shows, and they kind of like paring down the mundane at first, and so they're like able to spend more time like intentionally making dinner, and making it to where it's just a little bit more magic or something, like finding different ways of like cleaning the mirror in the bathroom, being like blessing it instead of just cleaning it. It doesn't take any more time when you're wiping it to say, may I see only the good. No, I don't like that. May I see, whenever I look at me, may I see all that is meant to be, or something. I don't know. Come up with your own like blessing, mirror blessing whenever you clean it. Just little things like that. How can we make this life, day-to-day life, magical? They like bring in the magic into the mundane, like allow that it all to bleed over and together and be intertwined. Allow that web just to be like all wrapped and round and through, and just like taking over in a beautiful, beautiful way, where it just feels like electrified, like you have like taken your life that you've been living, that mindless 9 to 5 grind that we're kind of programmed to live, and it's like a dead car battery. And we just added those things to it, the jumper cables to it. And we're just trying to figure out how to do that in a way that works for us. So add those jumper cables to it. And no matter what that looks like for you, let's share some ideas in the comments and like start up that engine and like electrify. Let's electrify our day-to-day lives, bringing in that magic, coming together to teach and show each other how to do that. So quick free plug here is just for the women. Again, we have the Facebook group that is a free Facebook group that's what it's about, is kind of about, it's like just teaching each other and coming together to teach each other and to help each other grow and learn. So if you want, it's just for women, but we're trying to all learn and grow together. Learn, whatever it is, astrology and herbalism and all the things in different ways we can intertwine. We can start adding that into daily stuff that we can start trying to magify whatever our day-to-day lives. So coming together to teach each other, learning by watching different examples, teaching by being an example, not forcing it on anyone in your lives, or saying that, like, don't do that. That goes against the flow. They need to be in their own thing. So like if you have somebody in your life that you're like, gosh, I wish they could feel this, how beautiful this magical life is feeling for me, because you're feeling electrified because you've been adding it in, and you want, and the first thing, it's like you're like a new Christian out there going like, you're saved kind of thing. You want to do that, but they're like, slow your roll, honey. You don't like people doing that to you. So remember that. Don't do that to them. Allow them to come to you and start asking questions when they're ready. Okay, so. Oh, thank you. Okay, Queen of Wands. And this is going to take more inner power and strength than you think. It's so much easier to fall back into old habits, no matter what that is. Because some of the ways that you may want to, you're feeling the desire and the urge to do things in these new ways, like finding homeopathic ways and like with herbalism and oils and all the different things of ways to like take care of yourself, right? Well, but whenever it comes down to it, sometimes it's just so much, you're like, it's so much easier just to grab a thing of ointment I already have made, or I can just do this or that. I'm not that you'd already have made, that's the store-bought ointment, stuff like that, instead of learning how to make it myself, learning about what plants to put into it, what all the different things, elements involved. It's so much easier just to buy it from the store. And they're like, so it takes strength, and they're saying that you don't ever, it's not that you can't ever just grab a thing of Neosporin and use it if you need to. If you need to, do that. But they're just saying, use the strength, your strength. You're going to need this inner power and strength to come out of learning, like unlearning those old ways of like having to depend on the store, the pharmacy, the whatever it is, for whatever it is. It is going to take inner strength to break that bond, to be like, okay, I would like to make, and start thinking ahead of time. I would like to make my own little apothecary. I would like to have an ointment for the basics. I would like to have like a couple little solutions just in case like a headache comes up or a cough or something like that. I want to have these, like whatever it is, 5 basic things. So start planning ahead on that. Start researching that. Do that in the time period that you would normally be whatever it is that you're doing that you can fit that into, you can replace with this like magical time of research. And if you like, instead of like scrolling TikTok, you can, and maybe it's intentional scrolling, like you're searching for this or that, and not allowing yourself to get taken away and over by other kind of scrolling. That's the mindless scrolling. You can you can even like start buying used books and having them as resources for different recipes and whatnot. Start planning ahead so that way it's easier for you to start leaning into these new ways. They're like, disclaimer, always consult the doctor, all the things. You don't have to listen to me ever. Don't sue me if you make something that causes your face to break out. I'm just saying, so like this is I'm not giving you any recipes, but they're just saying find ways to find little things and little ways to replace the old ways that you feel already the call for. You're already feeling like you want to do this and that. You just haven't made the time to do it. You haven't made the space to do it. You haven't gathered up that willpower, that that strength to break the old habits of time fillers, because those are it's a lot easier just to doom scroll or just watch all these different things on TikTok or Instagram or here even. Be more intentional about your scrolling. Only like try and make it to where I can do like one reading a day. I can do and then I can do like one resource thing a day. Like maybe one a day I'll learn about like one plant a day, like one herb maybe I can use. Or I can research like if I need to make that ointment for like that all-purpose ointment for like scrapes and whatnot, then that could be my thing for the day, and then I'm off of there. I'm no more doom scrolling, no more the mindless scrolling of like, oh, look at this person and that person and this person, that person, and all the different things. And then when you come out of it not having learned anything, that's the point of it, is if you come out of it and it's just the time sucker, that's where we're trying to break that, because that is like they want that's where they want you, is like this, you're not doing productive with your time. This is you, we want you to be where it is you feel fulfilled after the time period. So if you feel fulfilled, like you've learned something, you've come out better out the other end, you didn't just waste like 3 hours whenever it felt like you're on there for only like 15 minutes. It's like we're trying to reprogram ourselves. Get off the screens for a bit each day, more and more each day. You can slowly come out of the programming and reprogram yourself into this magical new world that we're trying to live. And this could be anything. Like if you've been wanting to do automatic writing more often, if you've been wanting to learn cards or whatever it is for you, and make space, we need to start working on making space and time for that. Iana siano tuiano oyana, kiono suiano tuiano oyana. Iana siano tuiano oyana. It's like they want us to do this, like cast a spell over our whole like little worlds. They want us to live these magical, beautiful, spiritual, like connected, like electrified lives of joy where we feel fulfilled. It's so hard to say. They want us to feel fulfilled. They want us to go to bed at the end of the day like, oh, look what I did. Look at my life. I love my life. I love my life. I did this and I did that. I wrote some in my journal, or I painted, or I planted, or I've planned what I'm gonna do. Because sometimes, some days it's just about that. Like I'm planning. I'm learning about this plant and this plant, and how they grow, and I'm gonna plant those, and then I'm going to learn how to dry the leaves. I'm going to learn how to grow it from seed, to drying the leaves, to making a salve for me. I mean, that just sounds like magic all on its own, right? So they're saying we need to learn how to take the time to weave that in, figure out how to do that, ask for guidance. Ask for guidance. Find that willpower from within. We can break these old habits and programs and chains of that have been placed on us by society, and find the ancient wisdom from within, and like learn about who we are, like who are we without all of the time suckers, without all of the just, this is how you're supposed to live. This is just how life is. Sorry, this is just how life is. You get up, you rush to work, you work. You come home, you rush to make dinner, you rush to get everybody ready for bed, you rush to bed after watch, and then you just sit there and watch or scroll and watch and pass out, and then you get up, and you do it all over again. That's just how life is. No, they're saying no. Let's nix that. Let's start from scratch. We have to rise again, like each new morning, rise again and say, like, what can I do to make my life more magical, to where I could go to bed that night feeling fulfilled and happy, and like I did something to make myself proud. I did something to make my children proud, to help them just by watching me, or maybe I really did help them. This and that, like it, and we're teaching others just by being who we want to be. We're learning who we are. We're learning who we want to be. We're learning the lives, how to live these beautiful lives that we want to live, by making the space and time for them. Each and every day, making more space and time for them. And it takes time. It's like learning, like quitting smoking, or quitting a junk food. It takes time. And maybe those two are two things on your list. Who knows? But each one of us are different. But it takes time. But you have to start by giving yourself the time that it takes. Even if it's little chunks by little chunks. It takes time. Give yourself some time. You have to put the old self to bed. Oh wait, that's not the one. Okay. Your old self to bed. You have to put your old self to bed, and find that willpower and strength to get up each day and be like, I'm going to do things different today. I'm not going to rush. I'm going to get up like 15-20 minutes early, so that way I can take my time making my coffee, and maybe even journal a little bit before even starting the work day. I can do this. Learn from others. Gather together. Learn, teach each other. Learn from each other. Grow with each other. Share this cup of knowledge with each other. They're like, it is like nectar. It is like nectar of the gods. It's like sharing this beautiful wisdom and knowledge. It's like nectar. It's like they're like, suckle on that word. Suckle on this nectar. Gather together and suckle on the nectar. It sounds gross, but that's the word they threw out there. But keep that fall harvest comes from taking the time, finding the strength and willpower and all that, to take the time to implement what you're learning together. We are building each and every day that we build these new lives and live these new lives in this new way. We are healing. We are healing generations of old. We are healing generations to come. Each and every day that we reprogram ourselves and live in these ways of fulfillment, we are reprogramming generations, past, present, future. We are healing. We are healing past, present, future. We are growing. We are growing past, present, future. We are becoming more for our past, present, future selves. And we are like, it's like creating this beautiful armor. Like, it's because you're able to, you're not dependent on like what everybody's telling you to do and how to be and how to walk and what to wear and do. We're getting out of robot mode and coming into this beautiful like goddess mode. We are like embracing our inner goddesses and learning from them. We are walking hand in hand with them, allowing them to teach us how to become like these truly independent, beautiful, magical beings and live these beautiful, magical, fulfilling lives. Fulfillment. They want our lives to help us to be more fulfilled in them. Happy, joyful, loving, educated in these new ways of being. And that again looks like different for everybody. So if you're like you're passionate about like the science of it all, do that, share that, become that, make space and time for that. If you are passionate about like sewing, crochet, knitting, making rag rugs, I love rag rugs. If that's your passion, do that, teach that, become that, pass that on. Like, allow that to like, how can I make more space for that? Each and every one of us are going to have different things, tinctures and lotions and potions and crystals and astrology and all the different things. We're all going to have our own like flavor and texture and everything is, and then but we all come together and make this beautiful magical space, and it's just full of grace and hope and love and light and fulfillment. If we come together and with all of our different pieces, it's magic. Let's learn from each other. Let's grow with each other. Let's help each other, like hold out that hand, help a sister up, pass the cup, or give her a new cup with some of that beautiful nectar of wisdom. And also, or even just an empty cup, and just to let her and tell her, remind her, she is so wildly capable and in every single way to fill her cup with her own magic, and like to be able to then pass that down generation to generation. We need to start lifting each other up and get out of stop turning the spiritual world into the rat race world, like a different way of living the rat race. It's like we're bringing the rat race to the spiritual world, and we can't do that. We can't do that. We've got to nix that, nip it in the bud. We're not going to live that. We're not bringing that rat race into this world. We're not doing it. We're not going to live that. So if you are like living the grind, just but trying to fit your spiritual light into the grind, just think about it. Like, just think about, how can I make this? Are you going to bed at night happy and joyful and fulfilled, knowing that you are like, do you really feel good in your soul? And yes, I'm not saying don't make a living at different things. Absolutely. Sell those rugs, sell your lotions and potions. But my thing is what they've been coming through lately with is that it's being turned and twisted into this like, need more money, need more money, need more money. And that's where you're still in the programming. If you're like trying to drain your brothers and sisters in spirit, or because it's kind of like that whole like in Christ business, but it's like, it's just different. But you know what I mean? It's like, if you're trying to like, how can I get as much money as I can? And like, because what you're seeing online and on these platforms is, it's important to be rich. It's important to have all the money. It's important to like be able to wear it's like this pull to like want to like fancy everything up. And if you are fancy, that's beautiful and amazing, and I love that for you. But we can't, like, just make sure that you're doing it in a way that feels good and right to you, and that you're not living the same programming with a different script, if that makes sense. Make sure you're not living the same program with a different script. That's their main like message with that, is you must, we're trying to change the programming. We're changing it. We're turning off that TV altogether, and we're coming over here and we're building up something new that is of something old, prior to all of that more programming, that you have to have more, you have to have more, you have to have more to be happy. You don't have to keep getting more and more and more to be happy and fulfilled. That's because something else is missing in your life. Something else is missing if you just keep getting more and more, needing more and more and more and more and more. And that's where we're trying to find. We're working together to try and find what's missing. What am I missing? What is my purpose here? And how can I help me and others? Because we're all linked in this. And I'm not saying every single person needs to be a teacher. Every single person doesn't need to get on YouTube and share their messages. But by healing you, not just changing the script, but like healing you and figuring out, who am I? What do I need? What do I want? And what do I really need? Not what I'm told to want, not what I see everybody else having, but what would truly make me happy and my soul feel fulfilled. That is, and how can I write my own programming? I need to write my own programming. I need to figure this thing out. And that's the thing, is that's what's so good about like taste testing all these different ways, because you're figuring it out. There's nothing wrong with taste testing different ways. If you play with like, if you and don't let anybody ever like blame or shame you for trying all these different things. You're taste testing. You don't, like, they don't expect you to go to a restaurant and commit to having only one meal every single time. You're allowed to try new things. Try new things as many times over as you need to. And you can even, that can mean like doing something for 3 months and then doing something for the next 3 months. This is your life, your world. You're growing into who you want to be and who you are. So if you feel like, I'm really called to be a gardener, I'm going to be a gardener, but 6 months later you're like, I am so not a gardener. That's okay. It's okay. You learned something from that. Maybe that point of that 6 months was you to learn all these different plants, so that way then you can get maybe you can get these herbs and spices or whatever it is, or flowers or whatever it is that you really, but I'm not a gardener, but I do like making tinctures or something like that. And so you find out that Susie down the road, she is a gardener. I can get the stuff from Susie. I can then make the tinctures and trade her by giving her some tincture. Or I can buy the herbs from her and make the tinctures and then sell the tinctures. It's like figuring out where it all fits. Where do you fit? And even if you don't fit, and you're doing your own thing, you're doing solo, you're on the solo ride, that's totally fine. But you got to figure out, like, how can I do the solo ride and still come out fulfilled in the end and not feel like I'm missing something? If I feel truly down deep in my bones that I'm supposed to be a solo ride, why am I on a solo ride? Not because out of fear of like putting myself out there, because you don't want it to be that. You want to make sure it's not that. That you really are not supposed to be on a solo ride. You're just scared to put yourself out there. But if you are, so if you go through all those conversations with yourself and figure out, no, I really am supposed to be on a solo ride. I'm supposed to be living a life of solo prayer. That's awesome that you figure that out, because you go to bed fulfilled each and every night. And That is the goal, right? That is the goal. Rewrite the programming. Don't just rewrite the script. We're starting from scratch. We're putting to bed old ways, old self. And I mean, there could be a couple little things in there that, that really play nice with new self. So you could keep that, but they're just saying, like, just make sure you're really, like, thinking about all the different things. Learn from others, share with others. Don't hoard stuff thinking that, like, just because out of fear of lack. Remember, we're trying to also get out of that, because we've been taught that there's this lack, that there's not enough. And so that creates the competition, that creates the mistrust, that creates this tension and everything. And they're gonna, like, if I give away this information, if I just share this information, then they're gonna take it and steal it and make money with it. Or they're going to, why would I give it to them whenever I could sell it to them? I need more money. They're just like saying and again, we're not saying never sell a class, but it's just think about, like, try and make sure you're rewriting the programming. We're not living in a place of lack, that there's plenty to go around. Take time, really examine, like, how you're living, how you feel, and make sure you're not still living old programming of lack and need and greed and all of that. We're rewriting the script of that. We're erasing it and starting from scratch and trying to just figure out, what does that look like? What does that look like if I just started from scratch, no pre-programming involved? What do I want? Who do I want to be? How do I want this life to look like? How can I wake up in the morning and live the day and then go to bed happy and fulfilled? What would that look like? Start planning that out, writing it out. What do your relationships look like? And if your relationships kind of egg on the old programming of lack and need and greed and or mindless being, you might need to, like, start shifting that around, like thinking, maybe I need to start widening my friend circle, or shrinking it, whatever the case may be. Think outside the box, find the inner courage and strength, and to break the programming, to not live to do the easy living in the mainstream things of ways of being. Just really grabbing a hold of, like, what is that saying that is, like, flashing over my mind? It's like something, or get off the pot, whatever that saying is. But it's like, you keep talking about wanting this or that. You're wanting this. I want this. I want this. I want this. But it's like, but you're not you haven't, like, made the whole full commitment to it. You're still holding on to old ways out of, like, convenience, or just, like, maybe fear. Maybe it's just easier to, like, live the way we've been living when we're depending on, like, when we can live mindlessly. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes, but in the end it's not. So we just need to slowly start shifting our mindset and our thinking. Oh, I know that saying. It's not a cute one, but you know what I'm saying. So do your business or get off the pot. Okay, so anyway, it's time. Let's do this. Let's up the game. Let's do, like, what's next in this game plan of reconditioning ourselves, of deprogramming, reprogramming, figuring out what is it that I want, what do I want my life to look like? How can I be a part of this new society, this new world that I want to be a part of, even if right now it's just a society of one? What do I want that to look like? How can I manage and live a prosperous, abundant life without being in the grind of need and greed? What does that look like? How can I be fair to my brothers and sisters? How can I price fairly or exchange fairly? What does that look like? What does this new world look like? What is this new world even if it only exists in my mind, what does that look like, and how can I start living that life today? How can I make that work in my life today? Even if it's just like inch by inch, how can I make it work in my life today? Let's go build our new worlds. Amen. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, goal, each one of us to go to bed feeling fulfilled. I want you to say feeling fulfilled 1,000 times. Just kidding. All right. Love you. Bye.